Yo, what is up guys, it's me Zach Lee, and welcome to day 23 of 2017-2018 NBA season. The Boston Celtics beat the LA Lakers yesterday 107-96 despite not having Al Horford and Jason Tatum missing most of the game with a sore ankle. The Lakers got torched by Aaron Baines, of all people, as he dropped 21 points, and the Celtics are now on an impressive 10-game win streak. But that's not what I want to talk about today. What we have to talk about right now is the fact that Lonzo Ball can't shoot the ball in order to bail his brother out of Chinese jail. If you take a look at Lonzo's numbers so far this season, besides his shooting, then he's been having a really good rookie year. Even if you just factor in his points per game, but just completely disregard the shooting numbers, basically 9 points per game, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. All things considered, those are some really good all-around numbers for a rookie. Even 8 to 9 points per game right now, as a guy who's primarily supposed to be a playmaker, would be pretty good if he were only shooting 6 or 7 shots per game. Before I say what I want to say, like I said, he does everything else really well. Even Kyrie Irving said after the game yesterday how impressed he has been by Lonzo.
Oh man, he's 6'6", unbelievable in transition, understanding that he wants to get his teammates involved. Can you really put a position on him, particularly right now? I don't know, but he does a great job running that team. And when he started to get comfortable and the pace started to pick up, that's where he starts to flourish. When it's going up and down, and he's got to make quick decisions. And then defensively, he's going to be challenged every single night. So those are signs that you can see that he wants to go out there and compete. So that's something that you want to see out of a highly touted rookie such as Lonzo, is that just go out there and play with the best of them.
But the one area of concern so far that we all have for Lonzo right now is his shooting. You can be the biggest Lonzo fan alive, but you can't tell me that his shooting 11 games into his rookie year so far isn't starting to set off a couple of alarms. 29% from the field, 23% from deep, shooting 12 shots per game. It's perplexing how bad this is. Back at UCLA, he could shoot. He wasn't the best shooter, but he could shoot. There are questions not whether he'll be able to get off his shot with his awful looking release in the NBA, but getting off his shot hasn't been the problem in the NBA so far. He's been able to get off his shot comfortably. He's been able to get some good looks at the rim. It's just they never go in. 29% from the field and 23% from three. Typically, when a player is shooting that poorly, they refrain from shooting the ball at all, only in must-shoot situations. And that's where we have been kind of hypocritical about Lonzo's situation. There was that game against Portland when Lillard hit the shot at the buzzer to get the Blazers to win over LA. And in that game, Lonzo only took 2 shots. Afterwards, everyone's saying that Lonzo needs to shoot more. Only taking 2 shots is not acceptable. But then on other nights when Lonzo goes 3 of 11, 4 of 13 from the field, we all say that he needs to stop shooting because the boy can't shoot. The thing is though, if Lonzo can't shoot, why would he still be shooting? Why would he still have games like yesterday where he attempted 15 shots even though he only made 4 of them? If he knew he couldn't shoot, wouldn't he have enough sense to say to himself, clearly me shooting isn't helping my team at all. Every time I put up a shot, it's as good as a turnover, so let me tone that down a bit and solely focus on getting my teammates more involved. Wouldn't Luke Walton and the rest of the Lakers coaching staff come out and tell Lonzo to shoot the ball one more time, and he promises him that he will never see the court again? I'd have to imagine that at least one of those things would happen. What is the cause of this though? Why can't Lonzo get his shot to fall? LeVar says it's because his son isn't getting enough minutes. Lonzo was getting 33 minutes per game, which is pretty good amount for a rookie, but not enough for LeVar, as he said Lonzo needs to play every minute of the 4th quarter, and that's why his shot's not falling, and that's why the Lakers are losing games. I don't think playing Lonzo more minutes is the key to getting Lonzo's shot to fall. That's just ridiculous. Lonzo, on the other hand, had a better approach and said it was just more of a mental thing.
It's a long season. Just gotta stay positive and keep putting in work, and then it's gonna show for itself. Obviously, right now, not making no shots, but I'm gonna keep shooting.
Is it reps as much as anything shooting? Because you shot it well at UCLA last year, and people didn't think you would. So what's the difference? Is it
I think it's just in my head, to be honest. I mean, I know I can shoot the ball.
Buddy Hield Four-year player out of Oklahoma State, was drafted to the New Orleans Pelicans last year, was supposed to be one of the best scorers and shooters of the draft class. Shot 50% from the floor his final year of college and 46% from deep. He was getting compared to like Steph Curry, that's supposed to be the next Steph Curry type of shooter. Comes to the NBA and can't hit a shot to save his life. His first 3 games, he only made 25% of his shots and didn't make a single three. Continued to shoot the ball poorly for the next who knows how many games, was almost written off as a bust. As the season went on though, he started to make more and more of those shots, and actually once he was traded to the Kings, he put up some really good numbers. 15 points, 48% from the field, and 42% from 3 in Sacramento. Granted, he has regressed a bit to start out this season, but that's besides the point here. The point is that sometimes it just takes certain players longer than others to adjust to the NBA game, especially when it comes to shooting. So there is still time for Lonzo to get his shot together. That doesn't mean that Lonzo is excused for this though, and that everything will automatically be fine just because some other players eventually learn how to make a shot at the NBA level. I still think that it is concerning, and also whoever let him keep that horrendous jumper when he was a kid should be put on trial. He does eventually have to either start making shots or stop taking shots, because like I said, every time Lonzo puts up a shot right now, it's basically just a turnover, but he has a lot of time. It might seem like we're a long way into the season, but we're only 11 games in so far. That's a lot of time for Lonzo to get his stuff together. Hopefully he can get his stuff together. I can't believe some people found it so hard to believe that the Warriors were able to beat the Wolves without Kevin Durant. Like, do you guys really not remember that if you take KD off this Warriors, that you still had that same Warriors team that won 72 games before KD joined them? They don't need Kevin Durant to win basketball. He's just the insurance that they will never lose again. The Warriors beat the Minnesota Timberwolves last night 125-101, and it's starting to become like a trend for Golden State to kind of toy with teams a bit in the first half before blowing the game wide open in the third quarter. They did it in their last game against Miami. I know they've done it a few more times this year already too. So if your team has an upcoming game against the Warriors, don't feel too comfortable if you go into the half tied or even with the lead, because it most likely won't stay that way. KD was out, like I said though, with an injury that he says isn't anything too serious. He just hurt his quadriceps against the Heat on Monday. He could play, but they just are choosing not to let him play, because why not? Let him heal. They don't need him to beat most teams anyways. Curry and Klay combined for 50, while Wiggins had 17 for Minnesota. Things weren't looking too good in the first quarter, at least for the Detroit Pistons, as the Indiana Pacers were hitting just about every shot they took. But after that first quarter, the Pistons became the clamp gods that they can become when they want to, and took control of the game from then on out. Detroit would always go up by like 10 to 15 points. The Pacers would make a little bit of a run to get it back within 10. However, the Pistons always immediately responded to push the lead back up to around 15. And after the first quarter, it was like that for most of the rest of the game, until the Pistons eventually got the 114-97 win. Andre Drummond with 14 points and 21 rebounds, while Tobias Harris scored 23 for Detroit. Al Jefferson tried to turn back the hands of times though, like 5 or 6 years for Indiana last night, as he had 19. And the Pistons are now 8-3 on the year. Elfrid Payton returned for Orlando last night after missing the last 8 games with a hamstring injury. Meanwhile, Kristaps Porzingis missed this game for New York with an elbow injury, and the Magic still do look like a pretty good team. They had a bit of a skid because they were missing not only their starting point guard, but their backup point guard too in DJ Augustin, so their offense wasn't as good as it had been the first few games. But it was back to looking good again last night, as they got the 112-99 win over the Knicks. Gordon, Vucevic, and Fournier all scored at least 20 points, while Payne had 11 points and 11 assists, and Tim Hardaway Jr. led New York with 26. Phoenix continues to relapse into their old ways as they lose their 4th straight game to the Miami Heat last night. Whiteside still not getting that many minutes, but he is making the most out of the minutes that he is getting. 23 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 blocks for Hassan, and 29 points and 9 rebounds for Goran Dragic, as Miami continues to try and find their groove that they had to end last season. 126-115 was the final score, and the Heat are now just 1 game below 500. That wraps up all the action from last night though. You guys can go vote for the player of the day by following the link down in the description box below. Just remember that only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. Yesterday, you guys selected Nikola Jokic and his 41 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists as the player of the day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more daily NBA highlights, as well as stay tuned for the daily NBA news video dropping later today, but I'll see you guys then. Peace.